Hopping back to December of 1994, it's where we find WWF Magazine, Randy Savage on the front, and Ryan's here, Steve's here. Ryan, let's start it.
Let's do it. Bring it in.
Okay.
Oh, Macho Man. I love Macho Man. He's got a dog?
Here we see, it says Raw Madness. Savage, uncooked, uncut, uncensored, and unedited.
Wait a minute. Is this the dog? Is this the dog magazine? Because Bulldogs, they say about the dog. With
Bark of the Bulldog. How about that?
Canine back with a vengeance.
Now,
Is British Bulldog a canine?
Now, what's happening here?
Oh, Bob Backlund. Yeah, get you started with an ad. Get you right started with the action figure ad. Have you ever seen a bigger picture of Doink? You can really examine what the hell Doink looks like here.
Bret Hart, real champions don't do drugs.
Agreed. We need more role models like that these days.
Now here it says up here, Editor-in-Chief Thomas H.W. Emanuel, but look at this, Editor Vincent Russo.
Yeah.
I wasn't, I guess I didn't think that Vince Russo was part of the magazine in December of '94, but there he is.
Way back.
How about that?
Well, he kind of talked like he was with that magazine for a while. Obviously.
Here's an advertisement for a game called Pitfall, the Mayan Adventure. Ryan, are you familiar with that?
I was a big Super Nintendo guy. I don't ever remember playing Pitfall. I don't know about that. I'd like to give it a shot.
It's kind of a neat picture there. It's just a reminder, not everyone wins.
Goodness. Eaten by a gator? Real quick, off the top of your head, give me a worse way to die than getting eaten whole by a gator.
Probably burned alive.
Yeah. That fire's hot, man.
All right, here we have News Beat. Zone In. This is for the Action Zone.
Is that Ken Jeong?
The World Wrestling Federation program. Charlie Min. Hosted by Charlie Min.
There's Barbarian. You like Barbarian.
This is Sione.
Yeah.
Sione the Shrinker.
Let me see. Can I do this? That's Barbarian.
I'm sorry, it's Sione.
Oh, okay. My mistake then.
Backlund snaps again. Backlund's having all kinds of problems, and here's George the Animal Steele.
I know what that's like. I got a little Bob Backlund in me.
In the film Ed Wood. Do you remember hearing about that?
I'm glad George Steele. You know, George Steele's got a lot of body hair, and I always liken my son to George Steele. They both have equal amount of body hair, I'd say.
Here,
I've never seen anyone else like it.
Here we've got King Kong Bundy.
And he's the opposite. King Kong Bundy's ultra smooth.
Barred from the back.
That sounds hot. I've been barred from the back a couple times.
All right, here we have Shawn Michaels' advice to the lovelorn. He's answering a relationship question.
Another guy that's been barred from the back.
Dear Shawn, I feel that men are losing their dignity by catering to women. This is the 90s, and a majority of women today feel that men are inferior to them. What does a guy have to do to bust this ridiculous feminist ego?
No, apparently nobody's done anything to me about it.
And Shawn Michaels has said, you're asking the wrong guy. I've never had a problem with women or their egos. They flock to me.
Wow.
Jeff Jarrett doing a review of Rolling Stones' Voodoo Lounge.
I want to hear your review of Rolling Stones' Voodoo Lounge.
Solid album. Love is Strong, through and through, some of my favorite Stones tracks.
Nice.
Now, here we got Fantasy Warfare, Bob Backlund and the Ultimate Warrior.
Is this Bob Backlund from his title run in the 70s and 80s?
I don't know. Look at that coat. What does that tell you?
I can't tell. Bob Backlund ages well. I can't tell if that's 50-year-old Bob Backlund or 25-year-old Bob Backlund.
I don't really remember the Ultimate Warrior having too many matches in this outfit here.
That was the Papa Shango Warrior when he was doing the voodoo stuff. That was the end day. I mean, well, I guess the end days are really here now. But
the voodoo stuff. Here we go. Ultimate Warrior. Not on this page, but we've got Yokozuna and Undertaker.
Nobody sells Undertaker like Yokozuna. Prove me wrong. Somebody prove me wrong about that.
Don't be using insider terms like that.
Go to.
You haven't taken a bump in 15 years. Don't be using
but
insider
I've taken
terms.
a bump though. Go to whatever social media Steve's on and prove me wrong.
Beneath the Skin, an interview with Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Is he nude behind that surfboard?
You better believe it.
He looks like he's having a...
Let me see. You can't tell from this angle, but I can.
He looks like he's having a great time there on the beach.
Man. Who's built better than Macho? I love that lean Macho.
Look at this, hanging out.
That's
with,
an athletic build.
with the bodacious babes. He's out here in the surf.
Doesn't it seem like Macho would be freaking out some women, like women that are walking and no one's near him? Macho seems like he'd freak out a woman.
On the jet
With
ski.
that voice and his intensity.
Yeah, I tell you.
That madness.
That's a guy that might give you a problem on the beach. Kick some sand in your face or something.
Not even just a woman. I'd be freaked out if Macho came up to me and started asking me questions while I'm walking alone down the boardwalk.
Here he is in the pool.
Isn't that the same pool that Elizabeth was with Ric Flair? Isn't that the same deal?
I kind of doubt it. Look at this. They're up in the room now, it looks like.
What is this about? What are you showing me here?
That's a neat picture of Randy Savage on a very cool looking car.
Yeah, I don't understand the point of this. Is this to show me how great Randy Savage's life is compared to mine? And where are you at now, fucker?
One took the high road, and one
took the money.
Road.
I'll take the money every time. I'll take the money over the shit haircut any day of the week.
Ryan has certainly taken the low road a time or two. Who took the right road? That's a.
Tatanka took the right road.
Did he?
Because Tatanka's not in a wheelchair.
But he. This is so off the rails here.
What's he going to do about it? In the mid-90s, he could do something about it. He can't do anything about it now. Oh, now this is my video game. Did you ever play this? Raw for Super Nintendo?
If I did, it must have been at your house.
You probably did.
Because you loved screens and controllers even back then.
Take a shot on who the unlockable character was in this game.
I think wasn't it Luna Vachon?
Luna was one, but the male one.
Doink the Clown.
No, Doink. I don't know if Doink was on this game.
Well, there's a picture of him right there.
Yeah, Doink was on the game. But the Sheik, not the Sheik, the Sultan. Remember the Sultan?
This is a little too early for the Sultan. 1994.
The Sultan was an unlockable character on this game.
I think you're a little confused about that.
Look it up.
The Sultan.
Prove me wrong. Go to anything that Steve's doing.
The Sultan had
and
not
stop him in the middle of his day and prove me wrong.
The Sultan had not debuted at this point.
It was the Sultan. I distinctly remember that. Well, there you go.
Bull Nakano.
There's Bull Nakano.
Rookies to legends.
Yep. There's Dynamite Kid. Why is there so many pictures of Dynamite Kid on this page?
How many do you see?
5. Was he even still around at this point in WWF?
This is the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. That's not the Dynamite Kid.
Well, who's this?
British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
Why was he still around this time? What year is this?
I kind of doubt that the World Wrestling Federation would be giving their magazine time to him if he wasn't.
No, I was just thinking. I remember.
Uh-huh.
I remember that match at SummerSlam with Bret Hart and the Dynamite Kid.
This is the new catalog.
Oh, I had one of these plaques. I don't remember which one I had, though. I want to say I had the Shawn Michaels one, but I'm not sure. Was there a Razor Ramon one? I thought I had a Razor Ramon one.
What did you do with it?
Hung it up on my wall, like it was something I accomplished, like a plaque, like an award that I won. I hung it up in my room like it was something that I had done, like an achievement. I was a real mixed up kid. I didn't really understand. What's that back there? I had all this stuff. I had these pins.
That was WrestleMania, the album.
Anything I can get free for renting a video, WWF video.
They gave you the plaque for free?
They give me the plaques, the pins. They give me everything.
They didn't give you the plaque
They knew me. I was the only one renting these tapes, and they would have boxes of this garbage. They would just give it all to me.
That's a neat shirt. Monday Night Raw. Uncooked, uncensored, uncut.
Did you have King of the Ring for Game Boy?
No, but I did have this dog tag that said Razor Ramon on it. And I remember the school principal stopped me one day and looked at it and said, "What does Razor Ramen mean?"
Is that still the address for anything with WWF, you think?
Stamford, Connecticut. Could be.
I always wanted that jacket.
What would you have done with it?
I'd wear it.
I can't imagine you wearing that jacket.
I would have wore that jacket. My whole life would be different if I had that jacket. I would have started wearing it. I would have met new friends, had new opportunities. All right, now I think we'd like to pick the posters.
Well, this is kind of neat. Undertaker coming out of that coffin.
You had the Hard Times poster. Which other one did you have? Did you have the Smoking Guns poster?
I didn't have any of the posters.
Oh man, I'm not even a fan. That's a good Lex poster though. I'm gonna say that's a good Lex Luger poster.
He never competed in those shorts.
I like that. That's weird. That's weird in a lot of ways. There's a lot of weird things about that.
Okay.
This is the Chuck Norris Survivor Series.
This is Survivor Series 94, Battle of Survival. Who will survive this?
Man.
Here we've got Bret Hart versus Bob Backlund, the Chicken Wing versus the Sharpshooter.
That was a good match. I enjoyed that Survivor Series. I never played Vortex either. There's a lot of Super Nintendo games in here that I didn't play. I think I was playing too much Mario.
I know you love that Super Nintendo.
I did. I was a big fan of the Super Nintendo. That's one of my favorite systems. But I think during the time that I was growing up,
you would do anything to avoid reality. Here we've got Jerry Lawler with Queasy, Cheesy, and Sleazy. Mm-hmm. And then we've got Doink with Dink, Wink, and Pink.
I think you're just making a lot of that up. I don't think you know that that's their names. Oh, you were reading it. Oh, okay. All right. If this didn't work to make this man a success, then what could be done? Start your engines. What could be done? They tried. They tried. This one's by Vince Russo.
There's Jim Cornette, Lou Albano, all the great managers of the day.
What's it about?
About managers, talking managers with the best in the business.
Who's that one?
It's the Grand Wizard.
Oh, I heard of him. Is he blind?
No, those are his sunglasses.
Those are sunglasses? They ain't cool as these sunglasses.
And we've got Mo.
These are Joseph Abood sunglasses.
No, that's Oscar. And Luna. And Harvey Wimpleman. Survivor Series 94, it's time to meet your maker.
Okay.
Role models, accepting responsibility. Ryan, you always say people need to just shut up and do their job. You got to like that.
That's pretty nice. Now let me ask you this. I want you to rank for me from 1 being the biggest and 5 to being the least biggest. Who is the biggest piece of shit ranked 1 to 5 on this role models page? I want from 1 to 5 your opinion. 1 is the biggest piece of shit and 5 is maybe not a piece of
that seems like those numbers should be reversed, but
no, this is the top 5 biggest pieces of shit on this page, and number 1 would be the biggest.
I never spent time with any of these guys.
Just from what you've heard, what you've seen, what you know, what is your gut feeling?
What would your ranking be?
Okay, I'll do my ranking. You know I have no trouble doing a ranking.
I know you don't.
Well, my gut feeling is Waltman. That's my gut feeling. Every time I look at him, I think this is the person that I would not want to be around. That said, I'm going to take him as 1 just for personally, but 2 has easily got to be Luger because he killed Liz. I guess 3 would be Mabel for obvious reasons. And 4 would be, I don't think Bret Hart really ever did anything wrong, so I'm going to say 4 is Scott Hall, even though I like Scott Hall. Bret's basically a saint.
What are you basing this on again?
Just how I feel about stuff.
You don't know these people. You've never spent time with them.
Just how I feel about stuff.
Setting an example for today's youth. Isn't that nice? I wish Ryan would do the same. Macho Man Rockets 1 for the kids. This is for charity softball game.
Yeah. Oh man, how fun would it be to play softball with wrestlers?
It'd be a lot of fun.
That seems like fun.
What team would you be on?
I like to hang out with Kevin Nash. I'd be on Nash's team. I came very close to ending up in Kevin Nash's hotel room one night. Very close, dangerously close. There's former president of the United States, now deceased,
What's his name?
George Bush.
What's his full name?
I don't know, George Bush, George Milhouse Bush. This is nice. I like nothing more than seeing a picture of Bret Hart. At this point in my life, I'd rather see a picture of Bret Hart reading a letter from a fan than seeing a naked woman. I think that's where I'm at in life now.
What's some of the questions he's been asked?
I'm just going to pick one at random. Why do you think Jim the Anvil Neidhart is responsible for the breakup between you and your brother Owen? And Bret answers, for a long time I was trying to figure out where Owen went astray with the idea that I was trying to hold his career back. I knew that somebody had to be planting these ideas in his head. That obviously must have been Jim Neidhart, piece of crap. I wish he was on that other list. I'd put him ahead of Mabel. It got to the point, that's not Bret Hart saying, that's me, but anyway, back to Bret Hart. It got to the point where I had to investigate it in my own way. I had to find out if it was one of my brothers, how many brothers? He had a lot of brothers. Or it's back to Bret, or my sisters or anybody in my family. But I found that everybody was supportive of my predicament, and that's nice for Bret that everybody was supportive of his predicament. As it unfolded, it became more apparent, especially at the King of the Ring, that it was Jim Neidhart all along. Bret knows what's going on. Don't try to trick. You're not going to fool Bret Hart for very long, people.
Now here's a question. Duke the Dumpster Josie, are you really a garbage collector?
What's the answer to that?
He
Yes,
goes,
sir.
Glad we got that figured out.
Yep. Yes, sir. That's what man said I am.
Now here's a crossword puzzle. Looks like I've already completed part of it.
But you couldn't get through the whole thing?
No, I've got the answer here. It's Atlantic City.
Oh, that's what you were trying to do. Atlantic City. You've been to Atlantic City.
I have. I've spent a lot of time at the Caesar's Palace and the Borgata and the Noodle Room.
Whew, don't even talk about it. I'm already hungry.
Ryan, ask me a trivia question.
Oh, I'd love to. Let's see what we got here. Okay. What was unique about the site for SummerSlam 92?
Well, it was in Wembley Stadium in England, and it was outside.
No, he was bankrupt.
Doesn't seem quite right. Videos you'll die for. Oh, the hits from the crypt. Do you remember seeing the hits from the crypt?
Yeah, maybe. No, probably not. I made that up. I didn't see it.
And here's an advertisement for Raw's War video game, Super NES.
Is there Sultan on there? Because I know he was on the game.
Game Boy, Genesis, and Game Gear. Ryan had all of those systems.
Look it up on the World Wide Web.
New moves like the Mega Cannonball, the Field Goal Kick, and Out of the Ring Mayhem. Ryan, did you like this game? Did you play this game a lot?
It's one of my favorites of all time.
You played it on the NES, I'm going to guess, right?
Super NES. Mm-hmm. The Super Nintendo.
And who was your go-to combatant?
Crap. I'm going to say Diesel. Yeah, I think Diesel.
Why was that?
That jackknife was legit on that game. You're not kicking out of that jackknife.
Well, there we have it. That is December
made a good video game
of 1994.
There it is.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on this one?
That's a good magazine. Maybe not the greatest time in wrestling, but a time that I like. I liked it. I like 94. I think you disagree with me on that, don't you? You didn't like 94, did you?
Some of 94. 95 was when I really kind of
checked out. 95 was even rough for me, I think. But that was a tough time for us growing up.
No, speak for yourself. From December of 94, we have the WWF Magazine,